This is the intermediate upper body focused at home workout. We're going to get it started with jogging in place for 1 minute. You can take this jog in place at your own pace, of course. Slow it down, speed it up as you need. We're even going to show you a few variations here of different types of stationary movements you can do to get your heart rate up and blood flowing. Want to make sure their entire body is nice and warm. So as you can see here, we can start with some high knees too. So just really focus on driving those knees up. Pump your arms as you go with it. It's a little bit more challenging. If you want to do a regular jog in place, you are more than welcome to do that too. If you want to take it a step up from there, you can even add in some arm pumps with the high knee pumps. It's a little extra challenging. You can do this for a full minute. You're a beast. Just got a few more seconds here. We're going to switch into our next warm-up movement. So go ahead and take it down to the ground for mountain climbers. We're going to go here for 1 minute. And again, there's 3 different variations of these that we can do. These are your standard mountain climbers. You can take little steps. You don't have to transfer one motion into the next. Little steps, 1, 2, and make it a little bit easier. This is the moderate way of doing things. You can even add in a twist. So as mountain climbers with a twist, you're driving your knee to your opposite elbow. You'll feel some really great core activation here as well. And if you want to make it even more challenging, every 2 twists you can add in a push-up, which I'll show you here in a second. So 2 twists and a push-up. But again, you can even be doing standard mountain climbers with just small steps, step and replace each time. Mountain climbers twisting the knees, or you can add in that push-up. It's all your preference. But we're going to wrap these up and start coming back up all the way to your feet. Going into jumping jacks. 1 minute. So just keep breathing. Your heart rate should be up pretty high at this point. Body's really starting to get warm and loose. And there's even a few variations we can do here. You can do 180-degree flips. You can even do little 45-degree flips. It's whatever you're comfortable with doing. And just for fun, we'll even show you a few 360-degree flips with the jumping jacks. Depending on who you are, they will look more or less graceful. If it's less graceful, don't feel bad. And again, you can always just do regular jumping jacks. Their body should be nice and warm as we get ready to go back down to the floor. Do some of this mobility work. So sciatic nerve glide's what we're starting out with. You're flexing that quad to straighten your leg out with your foot relaxed. And then as you get to the top, curl those toes towards your face to really get the full stretch. Legs should be nice and warm, so this will feel really good. We're all doing a lot more sitting than we normally do, so it's good to warm up your legs. Get them nice and mobilized. Even when the focus of the workout is upper body, we still are going to throw in a few lower body movements. So we want you guys to be fully prepared and ready for those. After each side, we're going to go ahead and transition to that lumbar twist. 10 reps on each side. And again, everybody's range of motion is going to be different. You don't have to bring that hand all the way to the floor. We want you to focus on keeping that knee down on the ground. If you were to turn further and you don't have that full range of motion, it's very likely that your knee would come up. But we want to keep it down and just work within your own range of mobility. Having that same foot on the leg with the knee that's touching the ground hooked behind the calf of your other leg, keeping that other leg relatively straight. And 10 nice reps each side. Getting our back nice and loose as well. be doing some back work. We should be getting ready to come to our kneeling position and work a little bit on ankle mobility. Got 10 reps on each side. So as you're leaning into it, put about 80 to 85% pressure, which will fill through your Achilles. And really make sure that you have motion at that joint too. You don't want to just push and hold, but really make sure that you're resetting your tibia and fibia back. Swap sides, keep working on that ankle mobility. So if you've ever had an ankle sprain or any kind of ankle injury that's limited your range of motion, it's really good to do these. And again, just do these periodically throughout the day. You can do the same thing with any of these mobility exercises. It'll help you out in the long run. And now we're going to be moving into these brachialis stretches. 7 reps, each plane of motion, each arm, each side. So we're starting out with the middle position. So we go middle, low, and then high. We try to think about being graceful as you uncoil that arm. Feel the stretch across that front part of your shoulder, upper part of your pec. And as you bring that hand all the way back, you can continue to bend your fingers backwards to get the full range of motion. You'll even feel this in your forearms. Getting both sides here. 7 reps, each plane. Middle, low, then high. Have nice controlled breath here. There's a good chance that your heart rate is still up. Your body's warm. Really getting ready for that workout to come. And it's a fun one today. There's lots of different variations we can do with a lot of these different exercises. And by the end of it, you'll be feeling pretty good, pretty accomplished. Now we got snow angels. So with these, really feel it in your shoulders, even in your elbows. Just think about the different joints that are moving. Feel your scapula moving, or your shoulder blades. Those little plates sliding around in your back. Just loosen everything up. This one should feel pretty good. You can do it standing or on the floor. Well, a trunk twist, you kind of got to do these standing. So really put some oomph into it. Imagine that there's a target behind you that you're trying to hit with your elbows. Sometimes I like to pretend there's a little energy ball in my hands, just for fun. But after these trunk twists, we're going to go into leg swings, so you can grab something to stabilize yourself on. If you don't have good balance, I recommend that you have something that's very steady. You can grab onto a wall or onto a heavy couch. I'm just using a dustpan. Gets the job done. Really loosen up the hips too. Keeping the body moving. Getting ready for this workout, which is about to start. We're going to go into it. First movement, push-ups. Good old-fashioned push-ups, 30 seconds. You're going to work your way into these. If you're not quite ready to go to a full range of motion on every rep, that's fine. Or if you want to do full lockouts with a little pause up top, that's also fine. Just work yourself to your own ability. You're not going for a specific rep number here. It's just how many quality reps can you get in a 30-second period. Really focus on trying to keep your back flat when you do push-ups too. Now we're going to transition into seal drags. These are a fun one, totally made up. I don't have any pull-up bars that I have access to right now, so to engage the lats, we're doing these seal drags. So putting your forearms on the floor, imagine like you're grabbing onto a lat pull-down bar at the gym. Your hands are going to be in a very similar position to that, and you're just using the friction that your forearms generate on the floor and your hands to kind of drag yourself forward and really feel it in your back as you're pulling. because it's the same movement pattern that you would see in a pull-up. You're just dragging your body across the floor, and if you find these too easy, just start to put things that have weight on your back. But now we're going to go ahead and get ready to transition into walking lunges, which we have for 30 seconds. So if you don't have a lot of space to work with, you can even step back and do reverse lunges once you hit the limit of the space that you're working with. This is why we do that lower body mobility, getting ready, getting the blood warm, getting the whole body warm. So when you do lunges, that ankle mobility comes into play. We got 30 seconds here. Really think about form and feel that tension all throughout the muscles that you're working. Just a few more seconds here, then we're going back into push-ups. All right, let's make our way back down to the floor. And we got 30 seconds of push-ups. Let's get it started. Really feel the full movement as you're coming down each push-up. Feel that stretch across your chest and shoulders. And just driving through your hands to bring yourself up, keeping your body in a nice flat position as best as possible. All right, heading back down. We got more seal drags. And just another fun benefit of doing these seal drags, if you're working with limited space, when you're resetting yourself, it's almost like you're turning this into a mini superset of its own with a shoulder press. So you're pressing up against the floor to push yourself backwards, and then you're doing the drag to pull yourself forward. So you're transitioning from lats back to shoulders. And then, of course, back to lats. You really feel it. Be in tune with the sensations in your back as you're pulling. And when you feel those muscles start to activate, just really focus on tensing that contraction at the top of that pull. So once your elbows are fully scooted back, that's when you should kind of feel that flex. And we're going back into some more lunges. Remember, we're doing 3 repeats of each circuit. So we're almost through with our second after these 30 seconds of lunges. Really focus on form here. Try to keep your body fairly upright and don't really lean forward too much as you take each step. And push through a flat foot. You don't want to be too much up on your toes for standard lunges. We just got a few more seconds here, so keep working through it. And let's make our way back to the floor. Last set of push-ups. So 30 seconds, quality reps. Let's go. If it's burning, that's good. That means you're getting work in. There's no telling when the gyms are going to be open back up, but we'll be ready when they do. It's always good to work on your fitness and get you out of a lot of sticky situations in life. So just keep training no matter what. Bear Grylls says, improvise, adapt, overcome. And we're back to these seal drags. 30 seconds of them. This is truly an improvisational exercise right here. Engaging the lats with nothing but a floor and the will to catch a pump. So let's get it. And again, if these are too easy, put some weight on your back. If they're too hard, shorten your range of motion. Make them a little bit choppier. Just do little mini drags, more like scooches. But either way, just make sure that you're feeling tension on your lats as you're dragging back. And we got our last set of walking lunges. And if you need to take a break after this set and just hit pause on the video, that's fine before we go into our next circuit of exercises. But if you're ready to move right into it, you can go ahead and do that too. You can adapt these videos and workouts to suit your needs. We just want you to help stay in the best shape that you can. All right, let's get ready to transition into pull-ups. If you have a pull-up bar, you can go ahead and use that. And if you don't, let's say you have some kind of a band, you can hook it to something stable and just do a vertical pull. So I don't have any access to any kind of pull-up bar, and the heaviest object that I have in my apartment is probably my bed. So I hooked my bands around one of the legs of my bed, and I'm just doing these vertical pulls there. If you have a heavier band, you can use a heavier band. If you have a pull-up bar, you can use that. So just 30 seconds of pulling. And 30 seconds of regular pull-ups, if you do have a pull-up bar, is going to be tough. But after that, we're going to transition right into shoulder push-ups. So for these, you're going to really stick your butt up into the air. You're trying to take your chest out of the equation. So taking those pecs out by sticking your butt up, kind of leaning forward, and you're allowing tension to really come into your front delts, just the front part of your shoulders. You might need to readjust your body and experiment with different hand positions, different feet positions, different body positions, so that way you really feel it. It's a shorter range of motion, but you are putting nice tension on your shoulders. If you really want to get crazy, you can even kick your way into handstand push-ups and do those. So for the super fit people, you can also do that. You're more than welcome to. Just don't fall on your head. And next up, we are going to transition into wall sits. So we may remember these from PE class or any other time that you got in trouble and just had to sit against the wall. They are challenging. They're sneakily challenging. And if they're too tough, you can find yourself a slightly higher position to sit in. But if you're sitting right at parallel or a little bit below, your legs are going to start to burn some. But they're supposed to. Just breathe through it. Hold this position. We're almost there. Just a few more seconds. And come out of it. Now we're going back to our vertical pull. Whether that's a pull-up, or you're just attaching something to a fixed object and rowing it. Just get good quality reps in. One of the keys to avoiding atrophy is just putting tension, putting an external load on your muscles. So even simple things like this can really help go a long way until we're all back to our normal routines. But heck, you might like this and want to keep doing it. I found this to be surprisingly challenging. So on days where I don't feel like fighting traffic or going to the gym, I just keep doing these workouts. But we're back on the shoulder push-ups now. Getting some good, clean, quality reps in. And again, experiment with different positions, different angles. The higher that you put your butt up in the air, the more tension you're going to be placing on your shoulders. If it's too much, you can back it up. Just really feel stability through your hands, so that way you don't face plant into the ground. All right. And we're going to make our way back to wall sits. 30 seconds. Just breathe your way through these. Breathing is key here. Lactic acid is building up in those thighs. And breathing is one of the ways that your body can help get rid of it. And just another note on those shoulder push-ups. You can even drop a knee down if you need to. So drop a knee down, put your butt up in the air, and that'll take a lot of tension off if the regular ones are a little bit too intense. We just got a few more seconds of wall sits. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1, and come back up. And we're back over to your vertical pull. Last 30-second round. You could be doing pull-ups. You could be doing a band pull. You could even attach something to a little bit higher of an attachment point. Squat down, bend over so your torso's perpendicular or parallel with the ground, and pull that way. There's lots of different options we have here for a vertical pull. Sometimes you just got to get creative. All right, now we're heading into our last round of shoulder push-ups. 30 seconds. Let's go. So remember, this is too intense. You can drop a knee down, and that'll take a lot of weight off. Just challenge yourself within your own capabilities. The key is that you're challenging yourself. Got about 5 more seconds of these. So let's get some quality reps in. You're almost there. 3, 2, 1, and set it down. Coming back to our last round of wall sits. 30 seconds. Just keep breathing. You're almost there. Your legs get a much needed break after this. Just breathe your way through it. If you need to have a little bit of a higher position, that's fine. But if you can get at parallel or below parallel, slightly below, you don't go all the way down where like your butt's on your heels. That's just cheating. But get this last set in and feel proud of what you've accomplished. And done. All right, now we're going from a plank to a push-up position. So really what you want to think about here is where your elbows were in that plank, you're replacing them with your hands. And so as you're driving up, you're getting a nice press through your tricep and through your shoulder. So trying to keep your back flat, just replace elbows with hands and replace hands with elbows. And you can even alternate the pattern that you're pushing. I suggest that you do that every few reps. So that way the main press is more balanced on each side. And now we're going to switch over to anything curls, which means just literally curl anything. So if you have a heavier object like a box of cat litter, you can do that. You could throw a bunch of clothes into a luggage case, because I mean those can get pretty heavy. You can curl those. Just any object that you want to curl. You can do both arms at the same time, or you can even alternate arms. If you're going to alternate, try to keep the reps even, so about 15 seconds on each side. If you're just curling something by itself, it's fine to go the full 30 seconds with just one object. As you can see, one arm. How nice. They even put a little handle in this box because they knew people might want to work out with it one day. Very forward thinking from the Arm & Hammer company. Put the arm in Arm & Hammer. And we're done. Go into the next exercise, which is just a good old-fashioned plank. 30 seconds. So really think about drawing your abs in towards your spine. So you're going to keep them flexed and tightened. Nice flat back. People tend to either pyramid or droop when, pyramid or droop when they do these. Just try to stay flat. Shaking is normal. Just breathe your way through it. It's only 30 seconds and down. We're going to go straight into COBRAS. So for COBRAS, you're really tensing your lower back to bring your upper part of your torso up. So extend your arms, drive your elbows back as you're contracting to make that little arch. We're working our spinal erectors here, and you can even add in another element by trying to bring your thighs up off the floor. So tensing your glutes and your hamstrings to bring your whole body up as if you were like a banana that was flipped upside down. So Almost done here. And back to the ground. We're going back into these plank to push-up positions. So really just think about replace elbows with hands, replace hands with elbows. Now these can get kind of tough. So really pace yourself so that you can make it through these 30 seconds with nice control. You don't want to bang into the ground at all. You want to be soft with the placement of your hands, soft with the placement of your elbows. It's all about control here and placing nice, appropriate tension on all the muscles that we want to keep strong. And done with those. Now hopping back up, grab your object for anything curls, and we're taking it for another 30 seconds. So really try to focus on having a nice full range of motion from one rep to the next. You're keeping constant tension here in your biceps. It's all about smooth, controlled movements that have some real intent behind them. Intent is key. You don't want to just go through the motions. So again, you can do single arm, you can do double arms, or you can even try different positions. So something like this box, if you're holding it from the side, or you're holding it more flat like this, it changes the angle that you're doing that curl from, much like a cambered bar would do. But now we're going back into our plank. Holding it for 30 seconds. Just keep those abs tight, keep breathing. Really focus on staying flat. And it can be good to record yourself. If you want to record yourself doing some of these workouts, you can check your own form and just see things that you might want to improve, because sometimes like your butt might be up higher than you think, or it might be sagging. But the best way to know is to either have somebody form check you or record yourself. Hey, we're doing COBRAS now. 30 seconds here. And then we just got one more go through of this last circuit, and then we're done. And remember, you can also bring your legs and thighs up off the ground, so the entire back side of your body is contracting into like a little bow or banana, whatever you want to call it. You should feel pretty good after working the front side. We're almost done. And relax, coming back up to these plank to push-ups. Last 30 seconds here. So really think about the intent of the movement. You can alternate the pattern that you're replacing, hands with elbows and elbows with hands. And trying to be as smooth as possible. Try not to jerk too much. And try not to put your hands or elbows down too hard on the ground. These are surprisingly challenging, so they feel tough. That's good. They're supposed to. But hey, we got our last set of anything curls. So grab your object, whether it's a pet, a family member, a pillow, a dumbbell, a box of cat litter, or a suitcase. Just whatever you have, go ahead and curl it. Life is better with a pump. Could have been Sun Tzu or Abraham Lincoln that said that. Don't quote me on it. But again, 30 seconds here. You do 15 seconds each arm, or 30 for the whole thing. But we're almost done with these. Just a couple more seconds. And set your object down. Actually, no, I take that back. Keep going. Sorry. Now set your object down. And we're going into our last plank. So hold it tight. Focus on keeping form as perfect as possible. If you're shaking, that's fine. That just means you're working hard. breathe your way through it. Just a few more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and drop a knee down and come out of it. Getting ready for these cobras. Last 30 seconds. So reach those arms forward, and as you're contracting your lower back to pull your chest away from the ground, drive those elbows back. It helps to exhale as you push your elbows back on that contraction. Inhale as you push your hands forward. And if you want to add in that extra movement of bringing your thighs up off the ground, you can do that too. But hey, we're almost done here. And if you want to repeat this full workout, you can do it twice or you can do it 3 times, which is what we recommend. So go back after the start or the end of mobility and do the full thing.